Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome in to the East Bayfield Community Center for more Barrie Sharks U18 AA action. Tonight is game number 7 on the season. In town here today is the North York Storm. These two teams were scheduled to meet a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday night, but ended up getting rescheduled to here tonight on a Tuesday evening. For Barrie, they come in 3-3-0 on the season, coming off a 2-1 victory on the weekend against Caledon. Libby Montgomery and Charlotte Coots were the goal scorers in that game. For the North York Storm, they're 2-1-1 on the season. They picked up a 2-1 victory in their last game against the Markham-Stouffville Stars. They've actually played 2 straight against Markham, resulting in 1 win and 1 tie. Last game for a little bit for the Sharks. They'll take a little bit of time off before a November 29th matchup at the Allendale Rec Center against those Markham-Stouffville Stars. And then that's the first half of a back-to-back as the Sharks will head up to North Bay that Sunday for the second game of a doubleheader that weekend. Looking at the standings right now in the division for these two teams, Central York leading the way, 14 points over 9 games. Sudbury in second at 10 points in 7 games. The Sharks and Markham tied for third with 6 points in 6 games. However, Barrie does have an extra win as Barrie is 3-3-0. Markham is 2-2-2. North York comes in behind them in 5th place with 5 points in 4 games. So North York does have games in hand on most of the teams. The Toronto Arrows 2-4-1 that have 5 points over 7 games. Caledon with 4 points in 6 games with a 2-4-0 record. And then New Tech has only played 2 games so far this year. They're 0-2-0 so far for 0 points. Just about 30 seconds left here in warm-ups between the Sharks and the Storm, and then we'll get underway with puck drop here at the East Bayfield Community Center. My name is Josh McCann. Thank you so much for joining me here as we get ready for U18 AA action. Ready to get started here in net. For the Sharks is number 1, Abby Harder. For the North York Storm, it's number 34, Addison Adamitis. Copeland and Gloins on the draw. It's a little equipment fix on the North York bench, and now we are ready to go. First, we're going to have Copeland kicked out of the draw. So Schubert will come in. I think official had an issue where Shea Walker was standing, but nonetheless, we are underway. McIsaac up the wing for North York. Battling forward, and it's knocked free to Scorgiello. So Scorgiello sends it into the zone, collides there with Gloins. The puck goes behind the net to Reinhardt. That's turned over. Copeland plays it down behind the net. Skating around, getting there is McIsaac. Shoebridge coming in, trying to force the turnover. And now grabbed by Shea Walker. Walker comes up to the point, takes the shot, stopped by Adamitis. Rebound loose to the Storm. It's McIsaac playing it off the boards, out of the zone. Grabbed by Montgomery. She backhands it right back in. Both teams making changes. Grabbed in the corner by Zoo. Trying to play it out of the zone, but kept in by Polarin. Played down low, fired out of the zone, tipped ahead by Yulee. Grabbed there by Homick, shifting through a couple defenders, knocked off the puck, but it's grabbed by Polarin. Polarin spins off Yulee, coming down low, gives off for Homick. Homick lost it to Yulee, grabbed now by Fox. North York defender brings it around, and she'll skid out the other way, trying to get around the Sharks. She will, into the zone. Here's a chance, that goes wide of Harder. Rebound comes up the wing, tipped out of the zone by Delia Coots, and now she deflects it past Toring down to the corner. Coots gets there, tries to put it up front for Homick. That's broken up. Toring nearly turned it over, but now sent out of the zone by Bello. Yulee's there to push it farther ahead. It's grabbed by Bruce, turned over. Toring with an opportunity for the Storm. She'll work her way around, looking for a chance. Stopped by Harder. Race for Jackson. Lost it to Fox. Back to the point. Here's another chance. Stopped by Harder again. Down goes to the corner, grabbed by Charlotte Coots. Game-winning goal on Saturday night. Played ahead. Homick looking for room. That pass tipped forward, and the puck goes down the ice. And Downey. Up ahead, tipped forward by Wang. Grabbed by Scorgiello. Backhanded around to Stewart. Stewart back to Scorgiello again. And flipped ahead to Norris. Norris going to come to the middle, out back the other way. Here come the Sharks into the zone. Maybe an opportunity here for Pinfold. She'll spin back to the point. Stewart slaps it down to the corner. Grabbed there by Winter, hard off the boards and out of the zone. Stewart gets it right back and a play forward to Pinfold. Going Pinfold trying to come in, kicked ahead, but knocked back the other way there by Song. Stewart back near her own end, flips it forward. Puck goes down the ice. Rolling a bit awkwardly there, but grabbed by Song. She'll backhand it ahead. Puck comes out of the zone. Sharks trying to regroup. Jackson ahead for Walker. Just send it in, and looks like that one went out of play. Our first whistle since the opening puck drop. Off the draw, Fox with it for the Storm. Just gives off to her defender, Song. That's tipped down low by Copeland. She's chasing after her quickly, and the Sharks take possession. Walker battles for it, lost it, and Song plays the cross. Winter up ahead for Reinhardt. That's chipped into the zone. It goes down behind the net where Montgomery stands. Montgomery to Polarin. Polarin ahead for Montgomery, and up the wing, Walker. Sent in down behind the net. Grabbing it is McIsaac off the boards, out of the zone. Charlotte Stewart flipping it forward for Shoebridge and chipped in by the Sharks. Chasing after it, Delia Coots. Puck comes out to the point, kept in the zone by Stewart. Polarin down to Coots. Coots waits, back to Stewart again. Stewart on the point. Ahead for Coots, makes a move around the defender, trying to give it across for Boos, missed her, but Abby Boos able to get there first. Puck goes down in the corner for Homick. Just going to cut to the middle, takes the shot, stopped by Adamitis. Good chance there for Ali Homick. Now Polarin looking to knock it free. Battle for it, chipped out of the zone. Boos will grab it, now flips it ahead to Homick. Sharks looking to come right back in. Homick flips it in. 3 Sharks will head off on changes. Coots and Homick remain out. Zoo around for Toring. She'll get it out of the zone, and out comes Yulee. One-on-one against the defender, Scorgiello. Here's a shot, stopped by Harder, and it's beneath her, and she'll cover it in the hole. 10:25 to go in the first period. Fox and Coots on the draw, won by Scorgiello. Flipped ahead to Norris, she'll send it out back the other way, down the length. Adamitis. Just played it for a second there. Bello plays a 4, that's knocked down. Grabbed by the Sharks. Chipped in behind the net by Montgomery. Down the corner, out back the other way. Sent forward for Downey, but that's broken up. Chipped ahead by Charlotte Coots, but intercepted there by Paige Fox. She'll drop it back to her defense. Sent forward, that's intercepted. Coots coming in, but offside. Really a good opportunity there. The Coots intercepted ball's pass out of the zone. The draw knocked free to Fox, tipped by Shoebridge. She'll come into the zone. Shoebridge gets down low, puts it out front. Shea Walker was there, but couldn't get to it in time. 5-player scrum against the boards. Puck comes out. Grabbed by Bruce in her own zone. That's hit Lang, but the Storm were offside there. Thought that hit her in the zone, but I guess not. Tipped ahead by Shoebridge. Shoebridge into the zone, up the wing, trying to drop it back for Walker. She's able to get there in time, puts it down low for Shoebridge, off her stick, and grabbed by Adamitis. The face-off, Sharks have it. There's Scorgiello. Played down to Homick, and the puck comes out of the zone. Stewart off the boards, right back in. Down behind the net, North York with possession. Song trying to play it ahead, that's broken up. Taken down there is Polarin. Song backhand forward, chipped out of the zone, but Scorgiello right back on it, but in offside. Balfour off the draw, grabbed by Dahlia Coots. Didn't get to it in time, shoved into the boards, and Polarin sends it right down into the zone. Homick behind the net, battling with Bello. Homick able to get free of her. Ali Homick to the point. Here's Montgomery, a shot that's blocked by Toring. Coots back to Montgomery on the point. That shot deflected up in the air by Homick. Polarin wrestled to the ground. She's able to pass it out to Dahlia Coots, who flips it down to the corner. Puck put out in front for Homick, but that's broken up. Coots fights to the pressure, gets it down low. Polarin. Pass out to the point from Montgomery is intercepted by Yulee, and she'll come out the other way with Toring. Toring now with possession, gets it into the zone. Knocked down by Jackson. Out for it. Womack pushing her way forward. And Jackson able to knock it free from the scrum. She'll come back and give it to Montgomery. Off the wing to Coots and out the other way. Right on net, stopped by Adamitis. She left it there, backhander denied by Adamitis. Puck's still loose, and she's able to cover. First I looked destined for icing, and then it went on net and figured it'd be an easy cover, but puck was knocked free, and Homick got there, but nice save by Adamitis. Loins kicked out on the face-off draw. And with possession are the Sharks. Here's Boos. Played down the Pinfold. Knocked to the corner. Zoo will pin her to the boards. But Pinfold able to come out free with the puck. Knocked around a couple times. Loins plays it up the wing. Storm trying to go out the other way. Pinfold puts on some pressure. Here's a shot from the point. Stopped by Adamitis. Puck is loose. Knocked free to Norris. Can she get free with it? No. Broken up. Like she was tied up, but no call there. Been a great opportunity for Norris. Back to her own end now, trying to play it forward, but the Loins gets it down low. Sent out the other way. Pinfold pushes it ahead. Knocked down. Grabbed by Stewart. Played up to Norris. Knocked down, and whistle goes. We got a penalty called here for a slash against the Sharks. Be Pinfold heading to the box. And North York Storm will get the first power play here tonight. Back on the weekend, the Sharks had the first power play in their game, and they capitalized, took the lead, and never lost it. Puck goes back to the point. Reinhardt across for Bello. That missed. Reinhardt will grab it and regroup. It's across to Fox. Fox leaves it for Reinhardt. Gets around Walker. Actually, that's Bello coming into the zone. Bello gets around, scores yellow, trying to put it out front. Puck sitting there, and Harder able to gather it. Spent 9 minutes gone by in the first period. Still looking for our first goal of the game. It's the North York Storm. For the power play, Montgomery fanned on the clearing attempt and now gives second life to the Storm. Here's Fox. Comes out from behind the net. Spins back, pushes it down low. Autumn Douglas. The wing gives it to Fox. Fox works around, scores yellow, still has possession. She'll spin back, plays it off the boards down to the corner. Douglas to Fox. Back to Bello. Here's Bello with a shot. That's knocked down. Puck's loose for Homick. She pinned it to the boards, trying to kill time. Just over a minute left in the power play. Scrum continues down there. 3 Storm, 2 Sharks, and finally that'll be whistled down. That killed over 10 seconds off the power play, almost 15. Face-off remains in the Shark end here. The draw. Song trying to go back to the point. She'll get it there. Winter on the point. Coming up, stepping forward, drops it back for Song. Winter again. Song. On the point. Takes it across, now gives to Winter. Now back to Song. 2-person show right now for North York as Song gives it back to Winter. He's on the point. Winter on her backhand now. Has Coops on her, plays it to Goins. Now an open shot here by Yulee, and that goes just over top. Carter may have had a piece, and Boost is able to clear it back down the other way. 20 seconds to go in the power play. And might have thought about coming out to play it, but it'll be grabbed by Winter. She'll reset here. Now 10 seconds to go as Goins plays it into the zone. Final chance for the Storm on the power play. Winter. Tipped up in the air. We're back 5-on-5. Winter still with it. Plays it down low. Toring knocks it free. Trying to come out from behind the net. Pressured by Boots. Toring. Gets it to Yulee. Fighting off the pressure of Pinfold. Yulee still has it. Goes to the point for Winter. Winter's shot. That's knocked down. Puck is loose. They jam away at it. And the puck goes wide. Clearing attempt though. Kept in the zone by the Storm. Winter sending it down to the corner. A Storm player heading off there after a shot hit her in the leg. Hopefully she's okay, as Sharks will just clear it back down the other way, and that will be an icing. Off the face-off, Sharks get it out again, but this time it won't be icing. It's already been waved off. McIsaac gets there first. Norris tried to intercept, but it goes around, and Pinfold gets it to Charlotte Coots. Knocked off her stick, right back to scores. Yellow, stopped by Adamitis. Good opportunity there for the Sharks. An offensive zone draw here for Barrie. North York able to win, and McIsaac around the boards. Sharks trying to keep it in the zone, but it'll come out. Fox plays the head. Douglas all over Norris, trying to knock it free. But unable to get the puck. That's sent out the other way to Copeland. Copeland was sneaking behind the defense there. She'll spin off. Has to wait for help. Just tried to put it out front. That's intercepted by Fox. She'll spin back, plays it off the boards, ahead for Downey. Tip pass, Jackson back down the other way. Jackson ahead for Yulee. That's broken up and tipped wide by Schubridge. Yulee off the boards, plays it down low. Down for it, there's Downey. She gets it out front for Yulee. Couldn't get the shot off. Jackson was standing in front of her. Yulee now up at the point, tries to play it down low, intercepted. Jackson spins back, pressured by Wang. North York the Sharks trying to get it out. North York keeps it in. Reinhardt played down low. It goes past Wang, and it's grabbed by Jackson. Jackson to Walker. Couldn't come out. Storm remain on the attack. Here's Yulee coming around. Puts it out front. That goes just wide. Wang was setting the screen there on Harder. Now they have it back. Here's Bello, a chance off the top of the net, it looked like. And now Schubert chips it out the other way. Schubert's trying to get around the defender. That's broken up, and Wang will come right back in for the Storm. Just about 2.5 minutes to go here in the opening period to look for our first goal. Boost to Dalia Coots, broken up by Reinhardt. Reinhardt chips it around. Getting in first is Douglas. Douglas from behind the net. Tried to backhand it out front. That's blocked off by Boost. Wang now puts it out front, broken up. And it comes free to Douglas. She'll go off the boards to the point for Song. And Song gives it right back to her. And Douglas in the corner, shoved into the boards by Stewart and grabbed by Polarin. Polarin around for Boost. Back the other way, Abby Boost slowly but surely gets it to the red line, flips it in. Delia Coots putting on some pressure here on Song. Puck's knocked free behind the net, grabbed by Winter. She's pressured by Holmick, able to get it out the other way. Boost knocked that down. Polarin will drop it back to the defense, grabbed by Scorgiello. She'll flip it off the boards, back down the other way, and icing's called. 1.5 minutes to go here in the first period. Off the face-off, North York with possession. Sharks were trying to get a change there, but waited too long to try and initiate it, so Holmick remains on the ice. Downey to the corner for Goins. Pushed into the boards by Montgomery. Knocked loose. Montgomery went down. Torring trying to put it out front. That's blocked off by Scorgiello. It's on the back of the net, and it'll be whistled down. It's off to the right of Harder, the Sharks netminder. And her team able to get it off the draw. Here's Norris going back the other way, slides it across. That's deflected by North York, but kept in the zone by Pinfold. Final minute of play here in the first period. Pinfold chips it down to the corner. McIsaac's there. Puck comes around. Zoo. They get out of the zone. Boost in the neutral zone. Gets it to Pinfold. She has a bit of space. Drops it off for Norris. Got around one, but intercepted by Wang. Should play it forward. Boost gets there in time. Or else North York could have had a 2-on-1. That's sent in by the Sharks. They'll get a change. McIsaac pressured by Charlotte Coots. Puck goes around to Zoo. Couldn't get it past Schubert. Kept in by Walker. Walker back to Coots. She's going to fight off Yulee. She's taken down. Penalty coming. Here's Schubert. Just shot stopped by Adamitis. And a whistle. And the Sharks will get their first power play of the game for a hold. So 14 seconds to work with here, and then if they don't score, it'll carry over into the second period. Possession goes to the Sharks off the draw. Scorgiello keeps it in, gives it to Copeland. No, it actually came out. 8.9 left on the clock. Puck's still sitting there. Sharks are able to jam it into the zone. Here's Walker. One final opportunity. Takes the shot. Blocked away by Adamitis. Rebound loose for Schuberich. Drops it back. Here's Stewart with another chance. Stopped by Adamitis at the end of the period. Don't think that one would have counted. But nonetheless, we have a scoreless game here through the first period of action between the Sharks and the Storm. These two teams did meet in preseason action. North York came away with a 2-0 victory in that game.
Man, how are you?
So North York 0 for 1 on the power play so far for the Sharks. They're just in the middle of getting their first power play underway. We'll have a minute 46 of time to work with here to start the second period. They opened the scoring on Saturday with a power play goal, and they're looking to do the same again here. So it'll be Copeland, Walker, Schuberich, Stewart, and Scorgiello for the power play here as the second period underway from the East Bayfield Community Center. Stewart across, that's tipped up in the air and played with the hand. Officials discuss it, but faceoff will come just out front of the Shark end. Faceoff, Copeland kicks it back to Stewart. Stewart to Scorgiello. And they can move around Fox there. She's able to get through. Scorgiello to Walker into the zone. Walker gets around Bellows, still moving. Here's a chance, stopped by Adamitis. Puck still loose. Sharks jamming away at it, but it's grabbed for the whistle. Good opportunity there for the Sharks. Some great moves by Walker, getting it down low, and then Schuberich taking the shot. Face-off won by the Sharks. Back to the point, Jackson sends it across. Montgomery, a shot stopped by Adamitis. Quick whistle, and we'll do the face-off again. It's won by Gloins, and the clearing attempt gets past Montgomery and out back the other way. Harder plays it around. Getting there first is Douglas. She's going to try and do what Holmick did in the first and kill off a bunch of time in the corner, but not much coming from that. Delia Coots into the zone. Gets it around Song. Now going to put it off the side of the post. Nice play there by Coots. Gloins trying to kill it in the corner. Free by the Sharks back to the point. Jackson to the middle. Off of Holmick's stick to Winter, and she's able to get it out. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Coots to Polarin. Polarin into the zone. Going to put it down behind the net. It's tipped around. Polarin to Holmick. Ali Holmick to the point for Boos. Boos right on the blue line. Gives to Holmick. Trying to fight off the pressure. Couple Storm players on her, and it's grabbed by Boos. Final seconds of the power play now. Delia Coots gets into the defender, takes the shot, stopped by Adamitis. 5 seconds left now in the power play for the Sharks. And off the face-off, that one's cleared out the other way. Julio will come out, and she'll head off to the bench. So both teams 0 for 1 on the power play now. Stewart upended, and just like that, the Sharks are going to get another power play. Tripping will be the call. Charlotte Coots on the drop for the Sharks. Barrie power play 0 for 1. Get right back to work here as they try and open the scoring. Here's Stewart. Up the wing, comes down low, gets past Fox. Down in the corner, Stewart knocked loose, grabbed by Fox. She'll come up the wing and plays it forward. Sent in ahead by Wang. Down to the corner. Battle for it, knocked loose, grabbed by Boos. Knocked free. Here's Charlotte Coots. Back to Boos. Minute 26 to go here in the power play. Stewart cross ice feed to Coots. She'll come up the wing. Now it comes to the middle. Coots into the zone. That's tipped back to Pinful. She finds Norris up the wing. Her shot stopped by Adamitis. Puck nearly came free there, but grabbed and held. Off the face-off, Bello just going to pin it to the board. Sharks aggressive, trying to get it knocked free, and Copeland had it for a moment. Bello nearly goes down. Now Walker comes out to the middle, taken down. The puck comes out of the zone. Here's Montgomery. Backhand across for Scorgiello. Sharks power play has 45 seconds here. They're going to slow it down. Scorgiello cross to Montgomery. Over to Copeland. Copeland through the middle, tipped ahead by Walker into the zone. Shea Walker gives off for Shoebridge. Walker upended by Bello. Both of them getting to their feet. Here's a shot deflected, stopped by Adamitis. Shoebridge got a tip on that one. Here's Montgomery. Passed across. Here's a shot. That's going to be too many players against the Sharks. Walker was a bit slow to get up after the blocked shot there, and then the Sharks were a bit too aggressive trying to get on the ice, and that'll lead to a 4-on-4 here for 15 more seconds. Then it'll be a North York power play. That's tipped ahead. Here comes Homick into the zone, trying to make the most of the open room. Stopped by Adamitis. Couple more seconds, 4-on-4 here. Face off one by Polarin. Now grabbed by Winter. Homick able to knock it free as the Storm now go on the power play. They roll for 1 tonight. Goins behind her own net, leaves it for Winter. Winter drops it back. Goins to Fox. Chipped off her stick. Fox is there, spins it back to Goins. Winter. Goins again. Played forward to Fox. Knocked down by Jackson and grabbed by Homick into the zone. That's quickly broken up by North York. Grabbed by Homick again. Homick nearly lost it. Goins is there, and now she'll rush into the zone. It's North York power play trying to go to work. They haven't had any offensive zone time yet. Here's Wang. Coming out to the point. Wang to Winter, pass across, Gloins takes the shot, and that's stopped by Harder, may have hit off her mask. Comes back to Winter, cross for Gloins. Gloins sends it over. Here's Fox spinning off of the defender in Jackson. Puck flipped to the net and stopped there. .53 to go in the second period. Confusion here. Don't know if York tried to get a late change there. But nonetheless, off the face-off, Sharks grab it. High off the boards, but Winter still able to keep it in. Down to the corner, Scorgiello is there. The boards kept in again. Winter. Chips it down behind the net, Douglas. Getting free, final 10 seconds of the power play. Winter to Song, has some space, takes the shot, that's knocked down. Wang trying to get it free, it goes back to Song. As we go back 5-on-5, Song pushed into the boards. Knocked loose, Dahlia Coots trying to play it ahead, intercepted, nice play by Douglas. She'll get it across for Fox. Fox moving around, scores the yellow down low. That one's broken up. Kicked free, Fox. Comes up, puts it to the middle. Here's Douglas again. That's blocked by Charlotte Coots. Chipped ahead, Dahlia Coots. Looking for Pinfold. She has her. Here's Pinfold. Up the wing. Drops for Coots. Intercepted. Sent out the other way by Wang. Now it's Douglas through the middle. Into the zone. Douglas broken up by Boost. North York in the middle of a change. Sharks trying to catch them here, but a couple Storm players already back. Sharks wanted to change their own anyway. Here's Zoo. Up to Toring. Toring gets it into the zone, pressured by Schubert and Norris. And that goes down low behind the net. Toring. Pinned down by Boost, grabbed by Yulee. Yulee to Toring. Behind the net. Waiting for it. Knocked free by Boost. And the Sharks will take it back. Toring just a bit too slow behind the net. Copeland got it out of the zone. Norris couldn't play it any further though. Battle for it, knocked free to Copeland. And off the boards out the other way. McIsaac is there. And she'll send it right back in for North York. Boost flips it through the middle. Goes down the ice. Not going to be enough for icing. Zoo goes up the wing for Gloins. And ahead for Toring again. Toring into the zone. Fights off Stewart. Gets it to the middle. Nice pass. Here to Yulee. Yulee, Toring takes the shot, blocked by Stewart. Good opportunity there for the Storm. Stewart off the boards, out the other way. Bello will catch up to it. Bryn Bello. And ahead for Fox, that's knocked down by Walker. Tried to spin and fire it in. Holmick is there, pushed into the boards. Holmick. Upends, looks like Bello there. Walker gets a free backhander out front, got him ice, knocked it down, puck's still loose. Sharks trying to get at it, and we finally get a whistle. Good opportunities there. The Sharks to open the scoring. Battle of 6 teams on the draw, playing on Fox. Won by North York and sent out the other way. Montgomery to Jackson. 7 minutes to go. Jackson looking for Dahlia Coots. That's broken up. Tipped ahead. Fox going to bring it in, but offside. Off the face-off, Storm drop it back. Here's Bello. That's knocked up in the air. Puck goes down to the corner. Montgomery to Holmick. Kicked forward. Puck comes out of the zone. Grabbed by Winter. Drops it back. That's fanned on now. Breakaway for Polarin. In all alone. Scores! Ariana Polarin opens the scoring for the Sharks. And they lead 1-0. looked like Polarin forced the pressure on Bello there that led to her stumbling, and then there was no one behind her. And Polarin was able to get in all alone for our first goal of the game. Sharks take a 1-0 lead and will look to add on here. They still have 6 minutes to go in the second period. Here's Gloins across for Downey. Tipped ahead, Jem Winter into the zone, gets it around, scores yellow in the corner. Winter spins it out front, that's deflected wide. Stewart providing the defense there for the Sharks. Delia Coots gonna cut through the middle. Got past Downey, out back the other way. Coots into the zone, making moves around Song, takes the shot, that's blocked. Puck knocked down, Coots couldn't get to it. Song is there. Floated ahead. That's fired forward, tipped around, and knocked back to Jackson. Backhands it ahead for Charlotte Coots. Coots back to Jackson and across to Boos. Played forward. Coots into the zone, knocks it off of Winter. Puck goes down in the corner. Coots tries to go back to the point, but intercepted by Fox. Fox trying to go out the other way and stripped of the puck by Pinfold. Nice play there. Pinfold upended. And now North York able to quickly go the other way. Fox gets it around Norris, going to come into the zone, but doesn't have anyone around her, and the two Shark defenders break that up. Pinfold flips it ahead, icing waved off already. Didn't have the distance anyway. Here's Walker, cutting to the middle, battling with Yulee for it. Here's Walker, down low, Norris. Pushing it up to the point for Montgomery. Libby Montgomery comes free, passing it across for Coots. Coots tried to go back to the point for Scorgiello, intercepted by Yulee back the other way, but couldn't get past Scorgiello. Nice defensive play there. Norris to Copeland. It's a breakaway for Copeland. She's in and denied by Adamitis. Rebound loose and put out front for the Sharks, but they couldn't get to it. Down in the corner, here's Copeland. It's down Zoo. Puck comes out the other way. Stewart gonna send it right back in. That got knocked down. Here's Shoebridge. Knocked off by Yulee, but Scorgiello creeps forward. Gets it into the North York end. Puck sent back the other way by the Storm. Stewart fires it forward for Copeland. Knocks it down. She's upended. And offside. So just under 4 minutes to go here in the second period. Ariana Polarin with the only goal of this one coming just a few minutes ago. Both teams have had a couple power play opportunities, and they're both 0 for 2. That's sent into the zone by Douglas. Grabbed by Boos. Puck played around. Battle for it against the boards. Knocked free, sent around. Grabbed by Boos. 3:40 to go. That's flipped ahead. Blocked off by Douglas. Boos gets it right back and gives off to Stewart. Stewart ahead. That's chipped by Polarin. Grabbed by Homick. Valley Homick into the zone. Takes the shot wide of Adamitis. Nice shot there by Homick. Here's Coots to Polarin. Play behind the net. And Homick knocks the puck free, trying to put it out front. Now she has it, plays it down low to the corner. Delia Coots putting it to the net. Knocked free, Homick again. Backhand down low. Coots out front, Polarin kicked on that. Save Adamitis, puck still loose. Penalty coming. And whistled down for a hold. This one's going to come against North York. So the Shark power play 0 for 2 on the night. An opportunity here with 3 minutes to go in the second to add on to their lead. Draw one by Charlotte Coots. Here's Jackson. Played across to Montgomery. Montgomery, Jackson, Montgomery again. Past the middle, Norris fanned on it. And it was broken up as well by Wang. She skated out the other way. Chipped into the zone past Montgomery. And there for it is Jackson. She's shoved into the boards. And puck sent around. Montgomery ahead to Pinfold. 2-on-2 into the zone. Here's Pinfold. Gonna drop back now. Spins it down low. Behind the net. Here's Norris. Norris. Stewart. cross for Scorgiello. And played down low behind the net. Pinfold shoved into the boards. Minute 13 left in the power play. 2:10 to go in the second period. Norris is able to knock it free. Norris shoved into the boards. Knocked loose. Here's Coots. Charlotte Coots up the wing to the point for Stewart. Stewart takes the shot, deflected, save. Puck is loose. Kicked free. North York on it. Grabbed by Winter. And the puck remains in. Scorgiello, a slapper, and Adamitis just got a piece of that one. Charlotte Coots coming up the wing. 40 seconds left in the power play. Coots trying to work around, intercepted. Back the other way goes Fox. It's a short-handed break for Fox. She's in. Chose to the forehand. Stopped by Harder. Rebound goes out in front and sent wide. A big save there by Abby Harder to keep the Sharks out in front. Pass to Walker, hit off of Coots, and now Walker will send it in. Zoo ahead. Broken up by Scorgiello. Tipped free by Fox. Nice shift for her. Now maybe a 2-on-1. Downey gets it to Fox. Another chance, and she scores! Revenge there for Paige Fox. A shorthanded goal for North York has this game tied up at 1. Fox denied on the breakaway opportunity, but takes advantage of the 2-on-1. We're back 5-on-5. 1 minute to go here in the second period. Yulee coming out, try to backhand to Mill. That's broken up now. Penalty coming to Copeland. Don't know if they... Sent the wrong player off at first. Shoebridge went out. Now it's Copeland for a cross check. So North York Storm power play is 0 for 2 tonight, but maybe riding high coming off a shorthanded goal here. We're in the final minute of the second period. Your score 1-1. Jem Winter gets it to Toring. Her shot stopped by Harder. Coin's going to be kicked out here. So Storm's still able to win the draw though, thanks to Downey. Puck on the point. Toring down the corner. Downey behind the net. Gonna come out, grabbed by Jackson, shoving her into the boards, putting the pressure on. This puck comes around to Yulee. Yulee to Downey. Right back to Yulee. Knocks it down, gets it cleanly. Now we'll wait. 20 seconds to go. Yulee. Pass across, intercepted, backhanded down. Rolling for the ice by Polarin. Grabbed by the Storm. Here's Winter, sent ahead, intercepted by Montgomery. 8 seconds to go. Scorgiello just looking to clear it and kill the clock down. Final seconds now. Holmick trying to get around the defender. She draws a penalty right at the buzzer, and that will do it. So both teams with a goal. There's Ariana Polarin opening the scoring. And then Paige Fox with a shorthanded mark for the Storm. Have us tied at 1. We'll head here into intermission as you're watching Barrie Sharks U18 AA action live on YouTube. Welcome back here for the third and final period here tonight. It's the North York Storm taking on the Barrie Sharks. We're tied at 1 apiece. Was Ariana Polarin opening the scoring on a breakaway opportunity to make it 1-0, and then Paige Fox responding for the North York Storm to tie the game shorthanded. There was a penalty at the end of the second period there against North York. Looks like it'll be going against Tegan Gloins. Gloins is in her own end at the end of the period, and Ali Homick tipped the puck past her, and just a little bit of interference to break up that opportunity. So 4-on-4 here to start the final 15 minutes of this one. Coots wins the draw. We're back underway. Montgomery ahead for Pinfold. Looking into the zone, but grabbed by North York. Here's Winter. Up ahead for Fox. Fox will come in, but that's offside. This stuff now right in front of us. And won by North York. Here's Winter. Trying to give off to Fox. Battle for it. Fox broken up by Coots. Charlotte Coots is able to send it in down behind the net. Song pressured by Pinfold, just leaves it there behind the net for Winter. That's knocked down. Winter spins back, gives to Fox, and off she goes across for Wang. Up the wing, Wang will chip it ahead. And grabbed by the Sharks again. About 20 seconds left here in 4-on-4. Then it'll be a shortened Shark power play for 53 seconds. Sent into the zone by Coots. She'll head off on a change. It's grabbed by North York. Out back the other way. Here's Toering. Deflected. Toering into the zone. Now, Shark power play for the next 50 seconds here. It's knocked down. Grabbed by Scorgiello. Pressured from behind by Yulee. She goes down into the boards. No call on that one. So North York able to keep it in the zone. That's Toering. Knocked back to Scorgiello. And the Sharks will take possession. Just under 30 seconds to go in the power play. Scorgiello kicked forward. Grabbed now by Homick. Her pass across. Hits Copeland through the middle. Copeland deking around the defender. Backhanded behind the net around to Dahlia Coots. Coots to Polarin. Back to Coots again. She'll wait. Goes back to the point. Stewart takes a shot deflected wide by Homick. Rebound goes to Yulee as Gloins is getting out of the box, and she slapped it down the ice and went right to Gloins. Into the zone. Gloins trying to get around. That's broken up. Takes a shot from Jackson there. This puck comes out of the zone. Yulee's tried to send it right back in. Here goes Stewart. Through the middle to the outside. Charlotte Stewart dropping for Homick. Works her way around Fox. Takes the shot. Stopped by Adamitis. Rebound. Boost gets there and it comes out. Boost to Dahlia Coots. Into the zone and offside. Boost backhands it ahead. That's broken up by Reinhardt. Grabbed by Bello. Back to Ball. She'll play it through the middle. Puck goes down the length of the ice. Right on net where Harder's going to cover. off the face-off. Here's ball. Played down around behind the net to Reinhardt. Reinhardt puts it out front. That's knocked down. Penalty coming here, and it's going to come against the Sharks. Adamaitis making the feeline to the bench, and she'll head right back as the Sharks touch. For hooking. Looks like Shea Walker going to the box. And North York will get another power play. 0 for 3 right now. Storm 0 for 3, Sharks 0 for 4. Kicks off one by Glorians. Fox across. One-timer Wang. Stopped by Harder. Rebound was there for Downey, and she kicks it wide. Copeland taken down, but cleared on the second attempt. It's actually Jackson going down and Copeland doing the clear. Here's Winter. Behind her own net. Take the skate out. Winter. Cross for Groins. Play it ahead. Here's Wang broken up by Copeland. Puck goes off the boards, but remains in the zone. Downey to Wang. Copeland stumbled, gets back to her field. The pass goes across to Winter. Winter stepping up. She's going to come back, plays it across. Pass back to Fox. Just step up. That's knocked down by Scorgiello. Sharks trying to go back out the other way. Short-handed, but Williams was able to keep it away from her. Passes in the skates of Fox. She's able to get it now. Fox in the zone. Knocked off the puck by Scorgiello. Winter is going to regroup. Plays it forward. Knocked down by Stewart. And now had Yuli up and coming on the ice. Pinfield would have been free to grab that puck. Yuli to Wang. Up the wing. Gets around Charlotte Coots into the zone. Wang to Fox. Behind the net. Fox to Douglas. Balfour tipped by Stewart. Puck comes up the boards. It's kept in by Bello. Bello plays it down behind the net for Douglas. Douglas waiting. Spins it to Wang. Wang down low. Trying to put it up front. Nice breakup by Scorgiello. Puck's loose for Bello, and that goes wide. Wang now to the middle for Yuli. Her backhander stopped by Harder. And whistled down. To go in third. Off the face-off, puck goes behind the net. Walker back out of the box, and we're now 5-on-5. Comes out to blue line, McIsaac to Yuli. Ahead, Yuli into the zone, makes a move, takes the shot, that goes over top of Harder. There's North off the boards the other way. Walker trying to catch up to it, tips it forward. Walker gets past the defense, breakaway for Walker, sent wide of the net. Quickly out the other way, but Abby Bruce, first one to it. It's tipped up in the air, now Toring. It's the next player there. She'll bring it into the zone, takes the shot, stopped by Harder. Down loose, puck comes out front, that's broken up and sent out the other way. Right at Song, who goes across for Winter. Right back to Song, makes a move around Polarin into the zone. Song, up the wing. Spins back, backhand to the point. Toring. Played down low, Goins is there. Broken up, Polarin, up the wing, knocked down. Battle for it. Puck knocked free out back the other way is Walker. She'll just flip it in. Sharks will get a change. 8:40 to go here in the third period. We're still tied at 1. Fox to the middle. Gets loose. Tried to take a shot. That was blocked by Jackson. Fox puts it out front for Winter just off her stick. Douglas a chance and she'll score. Autumn Douglas gives North York the lead here with 8:26 to go. It's a 2-1 game. Douglas, a bit familiar with this rink. She's played a couple games here as a call-up for the Barrie Junior Sharks, which also means she played alongside a couple of the Barrie U18 AA girls who've been call-ups throughout this season. Jackson ahead for Dahlia Coots, knocked off her stick. It's pushed into the boards. Kick back, here's Jackson. Kept in the zone by Douglas. Fox knocks a free, tried to come out front, that's broken up. Polarin to Jackson. Jackson plays the head, puck comes out of the zone, back down the other way. Homick trying to catch up to it. Getting there first is Winter. Pressured from behind by Homick. Winter up the wing for Douglas. And Douglas into the zone is giving North York the lead, looking for more, but that's broken up. Stewart off the boards, out the other way. Ball, nice backhander head to Downey. Storm right back in. Downey up the wing, has space, takes the shot, stopped by Harder. Down loose for wing. Grabbed by the Sharks, Polarin up the wing, out of the zone. Down the other way, here's Bello. And Bello plays the head for Goins, that's knocked down. Sharks look for the tying goal, but broken up by the Storm. Downey sending it back in. Behind the net, Stewart. Sent across, that missed Shoebridge. Puck will go down the ice, nowhere close to enough for icing. Ball plays a four, that's tapped ahead. Downey. Coming in, pushed into the boards. Lang is there and chipped out the other way by Shoebridge. She'll catch up to it, here go the Sharks, maybe an opportunity here. Shoebridge across, Copeland's free, Copeland in, backhander scores! Addie Copeland with the game-tying goal, and just like that, it's 2-2 with 6.5 to go in the third. So 2-2 with 6.5 to go. The North York lead did not last long. Off the face-off, Storm with possession. Comes into the zone, battle for it, and the Sharks have it. Here's Charlotte Coots. Goes up the wing, kept in the zone by Yulee. Back the other way, Sharks send it out the other way. Grabbed by Zoo. Around the way, kept in by Stewart. Grabbed by McIsaac. She can't clear it. Zeus gets another attempt, and she will. And Yulee loose up the wing, puts it out front. Here's an opportunity for North York, and it's stopped by Harder. Nice save there. On Towering. Keep this game tied at 2. Goins on the draw for North York, and she's able to win it against Polarin. Here's a shot from the point glove, saved by Harder. 5:52 to go. Face off to the left of Harder. North York wins the draw again. Here's Winter's shot. It's deflected wide. Down behind the net. Boost. Plays to Montgomery. Alford. Homick gives it to Boost. That's chipped ahead and out of the zone. Reinhardt. Backhanded forward. Winter. Ooh, dangerous pass there. Here's Winter. Around the boards, sent up the other way by Song, but it missed Reinhardt, and that'll be icing. 5:19 to go in the third, an offensive zone draw here. The Sharks with an opportunity to take the lead. It's being switched up here on the face-off. And the Sharks are able to win it. Jackson off the boards, behind the net for Shoebridge. This is the line that just tied the game. Shoebridge had it knocked free from her to Winter, and that's flipped ahead and out of the zone. Possession still belonging to the Sharks. It's Jackson playing it ahead, but that's broken up. Back the other way into the zone. Wang gets it around Scorgiello. Makes her way around herself. Puts it out front. Here's Downey, broken up. Nice play by Scorgiello. The clearing attempt by Copeland was knocked down. Here's Fox. Tried to come to the middle. Chipped out of the zone by Shoebridge. Go back the other way. Winter, another stick in there, but remain 5-on-5. Fox into the zone. Working her way around. That's broken up. And cleared to safety by Boos. Song not able to keep it in. Pass goes across to Winter. Winter across to Fox. Gets it into the zone, but not much further as Boos is able to break it up. That pass is blocked off. Now grabbed by Walker and sent right back in. 4:17 to go in the third period. Tied at 2 apiece. Here's Gloins. Back to Ball. Off the boards, Yulee. Yulee fights off the pressure of Pinfold, gets it ahead to Gloins. Trying to work her way around. That's broken up, and back the other way comes Norris. Maybe an opportunity back the other way. Norris has Pinfold with her. Makes her way around Ball. Ellie Norris behind the net. Spins it out to the point. Charlotte Coots, pressured by a pair. She's able to get it to Norris and backhand it down low behind the net. Puck goes up the wing. Kept in the zone by Montgomery. Montgomery to Pinfold. She's able to get free. Nearly knocked off the puck there. Able to keep it past to Montgomery. Her shot deflects wide. 3:30 to go. It gets past Coots. Out back the other way comes Yulee. 1-on-3 for now, waiting for some help from her teammates. Battle for it. Yulee still with possession. Spins it to Towering. Got past her. Backhanded forward by Montgomery and sending it back down the other way. That'll be icing with 3:06 to go in the third. The draw, Homick. Spins it back, plays it across. That's grabbed. Kept in the zone, though. Battle for it. Played ahead. Delia Coots, can she get out of the zone? No, she can't, but the keep-in goes right to Montgomery. She's able to play it off the boards. Chipped right back ahead, though, by McIsaac. Battle for it. Homick knocks it free. Homick brings it into the zone. Puck goes down to the corner. Taken there by McIsaac. She'll go around to Zoo. Zoo up the wing for Reinhardt. Tips it out. Scorgiello got past her. Now here comes Fox into the zone. She got the first North York goal. Looking for another here, and that's stopped. Rebound McIsaac. Slaps it down low for Fox. It comes out front, and Harder able to gather that one. 2:17 to go. Will we end with a tie, or will we have a last couple-minute hero here? Sharks with possession. Stewart up the boards, out the other way. Can Shoebridge catch up to it? No, it goes too far past her. Song will easily get there first. Song back to Winter. Winter pressured by Walker. Shoebridge tried to get there, but pass goes to Song. Up to Gloin. She plays it off the board. Stewart intercepted. Battle for it. Wang nearly tripped up. Stays on her feet. Chips it around. Shoebridge comes back into the zone. Battle for it. Flipped up to the point. Winter couldn't keep it in. Back the other way. Here goes Scorgiello. Sharks looking for the lead. Scorgiello up the wing. Takes the shot. Stopped by Adamitis. Rebound goes to Stewart. Played down to the corner. The Sharks making changes. That deflects to the middle. It got past Downey. Grabbed by Norris. She'll get around Downey. Norris spins back. Sharks making changes. Pinfold a shot. Blockered away. Coming up on the final minute. Down behind the net. Pinfold. Pressure by Song. Puck came in front and gathered. Off the draw, North York has it. Back out the other way goes Yulee. Getting in the next goal wins territory here. Yulee behind the net. Montgomery upended. Won't be a call. Puck comes loose to Charlotte Coots. She'll play it to Norris. Norris trying to get it out. Puck remains in the zone. Final minute here. Fox a shot blockered away. Here's Boos. Played around to Norris. Trying to get it out past McIsaac. Norris flipped ahead, goes past Montgomery. Down the other way, here's Bello. 40 seconds to go in the third. McIsaac for Yulee. It gets past her. Knocked down by Boos. Played ahead by Norris. That's waved off as the puck goes down the ice. Adamitis leaves it for Bello. Played to McIsaac. Up the wing, Yulee chips to Toering. Collision there with Holmick. Battle for it. Yulee comes in the zone. About 15 seconds to go. Sharks are going to get another rush back the other way. It's Charlotte Coots giving it to Holmick. One final rush. Holmick a chance. Stopped by Adamitis. Rebound goes to the corner. McIsaac just trying to pin it there and force the tie. Yulee gets it out. Sends it down the ice. Hold on net. Barrie gets there, and that will do it. So a point for each team here tonight. It's a 2-2 tie from the East Bayfield Community Center. Back and forth. Pretty even game. A pair of goals in the second period. Ariana Polarin got the scoring started, made it 1-0. Then Paige Fox tied the game at 1 with a shorthanded goal. It was Autumn Douglas making it 2-1 for North York in the third period, but it was Addie Copeland quickly responding to tie the game at 2, and both teams had a couple more chances, but none able to capitalize. So we end with a 2-2 tie. For the Sharks, that'll move them up to 7 points and ahead of the Markham-Stouffville Stars into full possession of third place. North York now tied for fourth with Markham at 6 points. That's going to do it here tonight from the East Bayfield Community Center. The next game for the Sharks is also the next stream, as it'll be November 29th at the Allendale Rec Center against the Markham-Stouffville Stars. But that's all tonight from East Bayfield. It's a 2-2 tie. My name's Josh McCann. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you next time.